Hey, what's up? It's Renee Mija. So we're going to check out how to connect a cassette tape player, and we're going to talk a bit about it and why I love cassette tape players. This was the first cassette tape player that I bought, and what makes this one so cool is it is the 424. It came out in the 90s. Before I took the leap into a bigger tape machine, I wanted to get a tape sound without having to go through and get a big tape machine. Big tape machines are heavy. They're very heavy, and they also require more time and effort to maintain. I thought I could just get by with a cassette tape player. Well, you can do a lot of great things with cassette tape players, but they do also have some limitations. With a cassette tape player, like the 424, we have 4 tracks. That means when we're doing a recording, unless we're using a variety of techniques, we can pretty much only do 4 tracks. So you have maybe a mono vocal, a guitar, a bass, and a keyboard, and that's it. Or you could do drums, bass, guitar. Now, there are ways to use it to where you can bounce down multiple things to the same track. I don't really like doing that because the more you do that, the more the quality starts to degrade. Instead, I like to just, if I am going to use it, I like to do 1, 2, 3, 4. With this tape machine, we have our inputs here. These are our preamps that are built into the tape machine. It's super awesome that it actually has that because each one of these, just the inputs alone, have their own cool, unique sound to them from the preamps. We also have a built-in EQ. I actually really enjoy this EQ. The high EQ, low EQ. There's a section for effects. I don't really use that too much. I have used it before. We'll talk about that. The EQ high, just a little bit, adds a different type of high shelf EQ than you might get on normal equalizers. It's kind of a grittier, crispier EQ that I really like. And same with the low end. The lows have a nice, thick, warm, smooth sound to them. So I love that. You also have on here your faders and your master volume here. Cassette tape players like this, you do have DBX, noise reduction, on or off. I personally like to keep mine on at all times. But if you want to hear it without the noise reduction, the unfiltered sound, you can turn it off. It's not going to sound as clean and clear, but if you want to make sure you're not losing any bit of detail, then you can use that. And pretty much all of the tape machines that I have some sort of noise filter on it. You also have your return to zero feature, tape speed, and memory. I tend to use the tape speed at high. I don't usually do the tape speed at normal or slow, but if you want to preserve tape, you can use them at normal and slow. If you have a 60-minute tape and you want to get the full 60 minutes, then you might want to switch it to normal or slow mode to preserve more of the tape and get more of the tape. But the downside is when you do it at high tape speed, you're going to get a higher quality sound from the tape machine, but you're also going to run out half the tape. So it's something like a 60-minute tape, only 15 minutes of recording time at high mode. A 90-minute tape, I only get about 20 plus minutes. It will run out the tape faster, but it's worth it. This is one of the coolest features on here. Tape pitch control. The tape pitch control has a really cool sound. It's different than what you're going to hear with digital typically, and you have a lot more control. It's different when you're actually, well, you'll see. We'll check out samples of that. On the back of it, we have the tape sync feature. I don't really use that one, but that one's to sync your tape with different types of devices. We also have the line outs. This is what I use when I'm transferring it to the computer. I use the line out typically. You can also use this to transfer it to a mixing board to have the sound play through there, or a bigger tape machine, or a different type of recording device, such as this little fancy combination right here, the SP404, which, perfect. We've got the RCA tape in and tape out. That is super cool. Or you can use it directly to your DAW, which is what I do most of the time. When I'm going to my DAW, what I usually use is, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, is I have to use an RCA to TRS. And I'll show you what those look like. This is the RCA to TS. So if you are using a DAW, a mixing board, unless it has RCA inputs on it. Typically, you're going to need this. You're going to need this cable. The advice I have is if you are getting a tape machine or a cassette tape player, get a long one, get a short one if you want to make sure that it maybe lasts a little bit longer and doesn't cut out as easy, or you want to make sure you're getting the clearest sound, maybe get a 3-foot one. But if you can, definitely try to get like a 10-foot one, because you never know when you're going to need the extra length. The RCA to the TS cable, very important. And so I typically always match red to red. With this cable now, this is ready to go into the DAW. So with the DAW, all you're going to do is find your inputs on there. You're going to use a TRS cable for the input. So let's say you want to record in track 1. There you go. You just connect this to the output of whatever you're recording. There are a few different ways of doing this. When I'm using a mic, what I have to usually do is get a preamp, connect everything there, or a mixing board, and then use the output on that, which is typically going to be a 1/4 inch. There's typically going to be a 1/4 inch output. This is a 1/4 inch. And I'll use that output from the mixing board or the preamp or the compressor or whatever it is, the last point of sound, and I will put it from that into there. Now, when you first get a tape machine or a cassette tape machine, you're going to need lots of cassettes, because again, the recording time is kind of low. Don't get, if you're using a tape machine like that one, don't get a Type 1 cassette. Type 1 cassettes, they're ones that were used back in the day for boombox or something like that. Typically, they're going to be a lot lower quality. You want to get a high quality cassette tape, so you're not going to use something like this, a Type 1, unless you're not worried about the quality and you just want to use it just for its audio capabilities. You've got like different types. So this was a Maxell that came out back in the day. It's like a vintage Maxell tape. This one came out, I think, in the 80s. It has its own unique sound, which is a little bit different than the other ones. Anything that's an SA tape is probably going to be really good. ATR now makes brand new cassette tapes. These are brand new. I have not used it yet. I'm going to wait until I actually am doing a recording. If you want an excellent tape for recording, the Maxell 60 minutes and 90 minutes are awesome. High bias Type 2 position ones are really, really good. And so are the 60-minute ones. I'd say these are the ideal types to get for a cassette tape player to record. But if I was starting out, I would get these solid, a 90-minute and 60-minute, like maybe at least 4 of those. And then if I was, after I had those, start experimenting with different types of tapes by different brands and see which one you resonate with the best.
Different, nothing's done. 'Cause in the end, I feel complete. so stuck. Agony, I can't keep going on the line. You say it's different, nothing's done. 'Cause in the end I feel complete. A life with you into me. I'll take myself right off the line. A final corner of my time.
It sounds amazing. It sounds really cool. It has a unique sound to it. There are a couple of shortcomings when using it with a DAW, such as the time speed. So basically what that means is, let's say you want to record a vocal to cassette tape and then you want to match it up to the music that you have recorded in your DAW. Tape uses a different type of timing than the DAW uses. The DAW uses exact timing. Cassette tape does not. Tape in general does not. And so there's slightly different variations, and it sounds great because you're going to get different levels of compression, different rates of speed, and you get a really cool sound. But at the same time, the downside of that is when you go to line the tracks up, it takes a while. Oftentimes, I have had to go through and manually chop up the track to line it up, which can take hours. When I use tape, it's usually, especially if it's cassette tape, I use it for very specific things. That's one of the downsides. The timing is not going to be the same on the cassette tape on the DAW. Absolutely not. Machine time is going to be fixed, where cassette time, it's on its own time. I love how it sounds though. The texture, the color, the density, the depth, the fullness, the warmness, the thickness, and the slight bit amount of distortion. Also, when you turn it up, you get a crunchier sound. You get a cool tape distortion, and you get a warmer, thicker sound by doing that, because this does have a built-in mixer and adds nice saturation to it. So I think that's about it for all of the features of why I got it, why I like it. We'll talk about later comparing cassette to the big tape machine. All right, I hope you have an awesome, fun, super cool, amazing rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later. See you next time. Bye-bye.